How exciting. I'm just checking to see who I've got a tag. Okay. Okay. Just tagging. Okay. I know there's always a lag with Facebook, so I'll just wait a minute and see who can hop on. I know I changed the time. Apologies for that. Just seeing if there's anyone else I've got to. Okay. Oh, someone's on. Can't you? Oh, here we go, Dina. Hi, beautiful. How are you? Can you hear me okay? Because I've got my earphones in, and sometimes music, the music in the background, I'll have a tendency to have it too loud. So just let me know if you can hear me. I'll see. I'll keep my phone up for comments because this is a super interesting topic today. Super interesting. You can. Awesome. So I'll just keep my phone on. Okay. Great. Hello. Apologies for changing the time. Like I said, some of you know my son is on the spectrum and I really have to work around that. Um, ooh, how cool. This morning we are talking about how past life witch wounds um, can really affect this current lifetime and hold you back from that reality that you want to be living, right? So, yes, I'm going to be talking about past lives. If you're here in the group, I'm going to make a big assumption that you believe in past lives and know that you have lived many, many lifetimes. If you don't, that's okay. But this is what this is going to be about today. So, for those of you who don't know me, I know we've got a lot of newbies that are coming in recently. I'm Sarah Lyons from Sarah Chakra Clearing. And my mission here is to really bridge the gap between our true home out there and the home that we're trying to feel connected to here on earth. Um, a lot of us feel like there is something fundamentally missing, wrong, we feel empty, and quite often this is because we are missing our true home out there. Okay, so this is really exciting. I've had to take notes because there's a few things I want to cover, and I'm going to start with my story. Now, firstly, what are witch wounds? You might not have ever even heard of this before, but this is becoming quite prevalent um, in this beautiful time, moving into the golden age. Um, what is it? It's age of Aquarius. Basically, we are living in amazing times of transformation and being able to just shift paradigms like that, okay? So this is awesome, and this is a perfect thing for you to be looking into today if you haven't before. So, what's a witch wound? Okay, I believe all women and men, because we live male and female lives, have experienced this wounding. And this is predominantly, this means we might have lived in a certain century or any times when we were having those witch trials. Being a witch was really bad. And for me, I wasn't actually a witch. I was a herbalist and a healer, and I was crucified as a witch. So you might not have even identified with a witch in that life, but there was definitely witch wounding there. So, how does this, sorry, I'm not very grounded this morning. How does this present itself in this lifetime? Okay, so what I see with almost every woman that comes to me for healing is throat chakra issues, right? They were, and I'm going to go deep here, and this might trigger some of you, so just be wary of this. So they were either strangled in a past life or really badly abused, okay? And this is already going to help clear this for you, because I can feel this is going to clear some of you just by knowing this new information today, okay? So this presents itself mostly as throat chakra issues. We can't speak our truth. We can't speak authentically. And at the core of this is the fear of death, because we were persecuted, ridiculed, and killed in a past life, being accused as being a witch. And the way this really presents itself is we don't want to put ourselves out there. We don't want to be seen. We want to stay invisible because that is safe. Yeah? So let me know if that really resonates with you in the comments. You might not even know why you're scared to speak your truth, or why you could never speak publicly, or why you want to share your gifts or really develop those beautiful gifts we are all born with, either being a healer, a psychic, I believe all of them. And at the core of our being, subconsciously, we are keeping ourselves safe because we are fearing persecution, ridicule, and death. Okay, and this is what happened to me. I went through a regression, and I had been persecuted as being a witch when, like I said, I was a herbalist and a healer. And my sister in that lifetime had told my husband that I was a witch, and I was brutally murdered. I had all of it going on. I was drowned, chopped up basically, and then burnt. Okay. And then my sister lived out the rest of her lifetime with my husband and raised my child. Now, I was an earthbound spirit for about 100 years after that because of the traumatic nature of that death. And it wasn't until my grandchild, who was a medium, helped me to cross over. So when I first learnt this and went through this experience, it was a bit like reliving that trauma, but more so I was grieving, like, wow, that happened. Okay, so that happened. And there was a period of integration afterwards. There's always a period of integration. You might go through a clearing or a healing and think, oh, that didn't work. Clearing here. But there's always a period of integration. It could be days, it could be weeks, but you'll find yourself sort of waking up one day going, oh, wow, that's actually not affecting me anymore. Okay, so the biggest way to clear this wound is to go back and connect with your past life self. Okay, and this act alone gives the power away. Okay, so it's a bit like Rumpelstiltskin. If anyone was read that story as a child, or remembers that story. As soon as they learned his name, it gave his power away. We see it a bit with demonic possession. As soon as the priest or the exorcist can find that demon's name, they can rid that demon of that person's life. Okay, got a lot of clearing going on talking about this. So I'm going to go through some signs just for the fun of it that you may have been a witch in a past life. But like I said, I believe we have all, men and women, we've all experienced this because going a bit deeper again now, quantum science and physics is looking at the fact that we all are living parallel lives, that time is an illusion and the past, the present, and the future all coexist at once. So, if that's the case, and there are an infinite possibility of timelines available to us, we have all lived or are living that lifetime, okay? So, let's get to it. This subject. Okay, so like I said, that death really traumatized me. There was some soul trauma because our cells actually, our cells carry memory from past lives. So this is why I'm so adamant that we need to heal and keep healing and keep clearing and really look back. Okay? Because when we do that, we can then move forward. All right? Okay. Let's get into some signs. Now, I believe that if you have a fear of fire, a fear of water, if you just really connect with the word witch or Wiccan or whatever, I'm absolutely non-denominational. That means I don't identify with any religion or any type of witch, anything like that. I just am who I am, and but there was always some nudges there. Oh, that resonates with me. Oh, I wonder, you know. So it might just be a bit like that. So, if you're afraid to share your spiritual beliefs, so this was a big thing for me first coming into the business that I'm in. I was basically shit scared of sharing my beliefs. So, even a year ago, I don't know if I would have been sitting here with you now speaking about this, okay, if that makes sense. But you're probably very, very interested in ascension, awakening, metaphysics. You might have thought about, oh, I wonder about spells, do they work, and things like that. You might be really drawn to crystals and healing. Like I said, you might be afraid of fire. Again, water. I used to have actually, to be totally transparent, I still have bad dreams about water, but I believe that is due to an Atlantean lifetime when the Great Flood took everyone or most people out. So you might be interested in witchy stories. I'm going to share a couple today. And you might just really feel intuitive, yeah? And I believe we're all intuitive. We're all psychic. There's just been, we've been conditioned as children, or fear really holds us back from allowing that intuition to shine brightly and be who we are at the core, yeah? Being that authentic me and the authentic you. So, and I will get to that, but how we can heal these past life wounds. But death is basically at the root of all fear, and fearing death really holds us back, even subconsciously, might not know it. And if you were persecuted as a witch in a past life, which I said I believe you were, getting over the fear of death is so big. Okay, I'm going to speak about that. I'm going to speak about that. So, how do we heal this? And I want to give you a couple of stories about some ladies. So, past regression, big time. And this doesn't have to be, you don't have to go to a hypnotherapist who specializes in regressions. I take women through regressions in my group in Ascension School, and there's been some really cool awakenings and awareness that have come around these regressions for these ladies. One of them, she had a fear of cruises and the water, and she had actually been a young boy on the Titanic who passed due to that, due to the Titanic going down. So yeah, that was so interesting for her. Another lady, I have a story here for you, really quick story. I'm not going to name names, she had insomnia for years. Nothing she tried made any difference. She was also kept awake by restless legs, a creeping feeling in the legs that only was relieved by constantly moving them. Her regression took her back to the Middle Ages. She was running away from an arranged marriage with a man she heartedly disliked. For the rest of that life, she had to keep moving on, forever looking over her shoulder. Unconscious memories often lodge in the body. While she remained unaware of it, Hillary's legs expressed her desperation to keep running. Once she understood those fears, they lost their power over her. From that day on, her insomnia and restless legs disappeared. She said it made the most wonderful difference to her life. So I'd really like you to have a think about what fears are coming up for you as I'm speaking. Maybe what physical symptoms. A lot of women have blocked sacral chakras, and I mostly find the majority of these women have got tiny little cords all in their sacral chakra connected to past lives. And a lot of this is feminine wounding, okay? We're just coming out of the old age of a masculine era into a feminine one where it's okay to be us and it's okay to shine. But there's a lot of sacral chakra issues. We hold a lot of guilt and shame in the sacral chakra, but like I said, a lot of past life traumas. And this can manifest in this lifetime as reproductive problems, menstrual problems, and a lot of problems in this area where we experience pleasure and really get to enjoy life fully. So let us know in the comments if you are happy sharing what you are experiencing in this lifetime that just won't go away. Like you might have tried the healings and the the rubs and the crystals and things, but it's something that just won't budge. And quite often this is because we need to become aware of the core root of this issue so that it gives the power away. And I would love to help you with this. You know, this lady I was talking about had the restless legs. And the lady had a lifelong terror of talking in public. This is so common. She had a talent for teaching and longed to make that her career. But this fear made it difficult for her even to consider it. In her regression, she had no idea they were what they were about. Where this had come from, she was able to shake it off. So it makes sense. Let me know if this makes sense, and I would love to know what you may be experiencing in this lifetime. It might be a physical problem, it might be, like I said, my throat is still clearing, a problem with sharing, speaking, and being you, being your authentic self in this lifetime. So common. Okay, so I've spoken about that. Yeah. Okay. So, like I said, these past life wounds to the feminine nature really affect our womb space, and when we heal ourselves, we are helping to collectively uh, feel, to collectively heal those feminine wounds for all women. Okay, we're literally helping the collective, which is so beautiful. I love it. So, reclaim your powers. How can you do this? You were all born with beautiful abilities of being a healer, a psychic, a medium, you're intuitive. And by healing yourself, by going back to the lifetime or lifetimes where the original wounding happened, you can shine that light of awareness of it and take its power away from you, therefore opening up space for other women to do the same. So even if you find it hard to focus on you and do for you, know that you're doing this for others as a collective. And this is a big part of the ascension process that we're in at the moment. It's so beautiful. Now, I just want to finish by talking about the fear of death. Like I said, fundamentally at the core, all fear leads back to the fear of death. And when we can really get over this fear of death, because there is no death, it's an illusion, it really takes that power away in itself. So, yes, it is horrible to lose loved ones. Okay, it's always horrible for us left behind, but I just want to tap into this and let you know that there really is no death. Death is simply a transition from our physical form going back to our true home. And like I mentioned at the start of this live, the reason why so many of us experience this emptiness, like something is missing, really in suicides and drug addiction is because we are missing our true home and we just don't know how to feel home here on earth. We feel alienated, we feel different. Um, yeah, that's sort of my passion. But really, relieving this fear of death can really help us go, okay, well, I'm not actually dying. It's not actually the end for me because we're infinite beings. Our souls live on, and our loved ones' souls live on, and you will meet again. And we're just here for quite a short period of time in the scheme of the infinite, limitless time. It's such a short period of time. So we come here to learn our lessons, and a big part of this is getting over these witch wounds in this lifetime, okay? Really helping others to do the same. And knowing that you will go back to your home when this school of life has finished for you, when you choose to leave this lifetime. And that's another thing I like to talk about sometimes is that no one is just murdered or suicide or dies for no reason. It doesn't just happen. And I know a lot of us struggle with this, but we contract in this lifetime to exit when we choose to exit. So it is a choice, even though we don't remember it, okay? It is a choice. Oh, okay. Do you have any questions about anything I've spoken about today? Is there something you may be currently struggling with at the moment in your life that we can talk through at the moment? I'm just going to check to see if there's any. Oh, was I freezing and lost sound? Let me check on here. Okay, I can hear me. I wonder if it froze just for a little bit there. Um, Let me know in the comments. I've got my eye on the comments. You might be afraid to share what you're experiencing at the moment, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is why I work through these woundings in specifically in Ascension School. We go through past life regressions, and this doesn't just help with witch wounds. This helps with other past life wounds, and now in this lifetime is the perfect time to be clearing and healing from other lifetimes and really integrating those lives into this one in a really beautiful, whole, light way and really healing that part of you. Okay, soul retrieval is also very good for this, which we also go through in Ascension School. I've put it on for a couple of months at the moment for a free trial to see if it resonates with you. So I'll chuck the link in the comments. And we do some really juicy, powerful stuff in that group. So I can see some of you are still on. I can't see if any comments are coming through. I would love to know how this resonated with you because this can be a really taboo subject. And this was quite big for me today, even speaking about this. I feel like this has now that I have